So, 21, not 21, 17. Range is your y values. So this is your y values. Why am I writing on here? That's fine, we'll do that. 4 and 5 is your range. Determine if it's a function. Does each x get one y? So you have -1 goes to 4, 2 goes to 5, 3 goes to 5. Since these two values get their own y value, they get their own. So 2 goes to its own value, and 3 goes to its own values. This is a function.
But if it was -1, 2, 2.
I'm going to switch a little bit better. -1, 5, 5. This went 4, this went 2, this went 3. This 5 goes to two different values, not a function. Because 5 can't be 2 and 5 can't be 3. Does that clarify that?
Yeah.
Cool. Not a function. Each x gets its own y. Did 2 get its own y? So that means when you work 2 hours, you get $5. When I work 3 hours, I get $5. They're two in its own things. 2 can be 3. So that would be like a question where we had -1 is 4, 2 is 5, 3 is 5. That's fine. Because vertical line test, 1x gets its own y. If it was switched where it was -1 and then 5 was 3, that doesn't work, but we'll just do that. These two numbers, if I draw through that, that value has the same value twice. Sorry, x has two different values at the same time, and it can't be the same thing. That'd be where at the same job, if I was working right now, I got paid $5 if I worked 2 hours, and if I worked 3 hours, I also got paid $5. Totally did that backwards. 5 hours, and I got paid $2, and I got paid $3. Depends. When I was 11, that was worth a lot of money. Babysitting, $3, $4, $5. Babysitting? No. I had to start babysitting at like 8. Oh, we were already taking care of ourselves at that time. Like, my brother and I were taking care of ourselves at 7 and 5. Why? I could cook ramen noodles and I could use the stove, and favorite thing was ramen noodles and hot dogs. We were 7 and 5. Oh, so, find the slope of the line that passes through this. 4, 8, 2, -7. It is y1 minus y2. If you pick the first one, x1 minus x2. Meaning, the same point, 4 and 2 have to line up. I always go left to right. So I would go 4 minus 8 over 2 minus a -7. -4 over 9. If you switched it, you would still get the same answer. Alright, so we're going to talk about 22 real quick, because this is one of the most missed lines. The slope of line y equals -2 is undefined. It's a vertical line. If you had y equals -2, the slope is 0. All right, so we got roughly 7 minutes. Other questions that we got? Undefined. That's because it's x equals. Y equals is 0. 23 through 26. Which one? It's okay. 23 through 26. Parallel slope is the same. Perpendicular is opposite reciprocal. So, parallel, same, slope. If it has perpendicular, it's opposite, reciprocal. Wow, that's not even spelled reciprocal, that's like regression, which is the next thing, but I'm getting excited about regression. Reciprocal. Alright, so 28 is the question on what the heck do I do, or remind me how to do this. Okay. So the first thing is, if you haven't done your diagnostics on, or if your calculator's possibly died in like the last, I don't know, since chapter 2, and you don't have these old school calculators, you need to make sure your diagnostics is on. So you go second 0, hit the letter D, which is x to negative 1, and you should find diagnostics on, or you can just keep arrowing down until you find diagnostic on. Once you hit it, hit enter, and it's done. Second 0, find diagnostic on, hit enter, and then get done. Okay, this is stats. So what button are we going to use? The stat button. Before you can use the stat button, what do you have to do beforehand? You gotta go make your list. So you go second stat. Nope, you want to go stat. Never mind. My bad. My bad. My bad. Ooh, that's really pretty right now. Edit. Well, this has not been used for quite some time. So, hours practice you put on top. So you can just literally type over it. So 1, enter. 3, enter. What comes next? 4, enter. 7, enter. 12, enter. Oh, that's not 12. And I don't like that one, so I hit delete on it. Arrow back over, go to the top. 0, 4, 6. Aw, you wouldn't be nice and give me 8. 19. Don't like that one, hit delete. That is a 9, thanks. Stat edit. We use lists for other things. When I call them up to do other things. Alright, so. Stat button. Calculate. Which one of these do I want? 4. Enter. So, the equation is formed by A and B, and you don't care about R squared. You want R. Stat. Calc. 4. Yes, exactly as it is. If it's a multiple choice question, pick the one that matches you the best. Like, if it's a multiple choice question, I can't tell you, don't pick the one that matches. If it's not a multiple choice question, then write it all out. The equation. That was just up there. So how do you get the equation? Because you got to know how to do it. Okay, so there's your equation. You have to create it, sunshine. Read the page. Read it all out. So read at the very top. You see it? So A is your slope. B is your y-intercept. And out of R squared and R, which one do you want? Yes, you want R. Not R squared. Do not give me R squared. Well, you'd write out R and answer the question based on what it says. And then based on what the question says now, then it says find the number for 5 players. So what would you have to do then? You'd plug in 5 to the equation. Just like what you would do before. You put in wherever the X is, you put 5. So after you write down the equation, 1.816939891 times 5 plus negative 0.8114754098. There is. You're going to have to go watch a video in chapter 2. I'm not telling you how to do it. Because I hate that method. Because I can write it in and type it. I can write it down, type it in my calculator quicker than I can doing it the other way. Because there's way too many y-bars. Hate y-bars. What's the domain for 29? All real numbers, because you can plug in any x value. Write the inequality that describes the situation when Bob has at least 3 pets. Say what? Y or X, 3. If you have at least 3, can you have more than 3? You can also have 3, so you gotta put that equal sign on there. Alright, that's first 2 chapters.